Hey, sorry about that, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me. I know this thing is on a delay, so uh, when you just want to. Can you hear me? Oh no, my thing is freezing up. Okay. Okay, great. I'm sorry because the chat is kind of slow and I and I'm just now seeing all of your comments. Okay, great. Hey Sam, Major, OTDA, thank you for showing up. I know Phil was in earlier and he said that he wasn't feeling well, so I hope he's feeling a little bit better. Can y'all hear me okay? Like is my sound like off or low? My edges, something with these edges. Okay, great. Great. Um, just to start off, I wanted to do a few shout outs before we get started. And I want to try to do that because sometimes I want to make a special mention to some people because I haven't been around in a while and I just don't want them to, and for me, I just want to do that. Um, First, I want to give a shout out to Jesus because I am a Jesus lover. Thank you. Um, Shout out to OTDA, um, who has been a great supporter and who always makes sure that I am aware of what's going on in these streets and for sharing my videos with everybody every time I put one out. So, shout out to you. Much love to you. I also want to shout out to Bravosi Broadcast. Um, I've been I've been watching a lot of her videos, and um, man, she's on point. If you haven't subscribed to her or if you haven't gotten a chance to watch some of her videos, I highly recommend her channel. Um, and never to forget, a lot of the girls, Sam, AK, T Baby, Lady D, Timo Lisi. I always want to make sure that I recognize them, and I also want to always recognize Jonnie, without whom I would never be on these interwebs. Yes, yes. Thank you, OTA. Like, I just wanted you to know, if I never said it out loud, or and I probably will never be able to say it enough. Thank you, my dude. Thank you. Um, yeah. And also, I also want to say condolences to the family of George Floyd. Our country in a bit of a is going through a rough patch, especially the people of Minneapolis. And I totally understand the outcry that is going there, so hopefully, um as a result of all of this turmoil, that, you know legislators, um, Congress people who we elect in order to uphold the laws of our community, will do so in such a way that it benefits all people, but not just a few select. And in that same vein, I also want to extend that to the families. Sorry, my mic went out. To the families of Breonna Taylor, Tatiana Johnson, I believe her name was, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the others, man, who I don't remember everybody's name, but those are just a few that have popped into my head. I mean, it's just, um, I hope that this is an opportunity for those that we elect into, to represent us, do so in such a way where we all benefit, not just a select few. And, and if you are somebody who is in a position of law enforcement, you know, um, I know here in New York, their tagline is to protect and serve. So, you know, protecting and serving doesn't necessarily mean using your first, your first, uh, your the first thing that you do is to escalate. Your training should be to de-escalate. So that's just all I wanted. I just felt the need to have to say that, because it was in my spirit to do so, and I hope that you guys don't mind and indulge me in just getting that off of my chest for now. Okay, because I could go on about that, but that's a totally different video with a whole different, a whole different conversation. Today, I wanted to talk about The Expanse. Hey, Miss Duncan the Tall. Hey, House. Yeah, I hope. Has anybody seen The Expanse? Because there's going to be spoiler talk if you haven't. Well, I'm only talking season 1. I'm only going to discuss season 1. To all my Belter Walders out there. Sasuke. I totally would have been the person from the belt. I totally would have been a belter. I would have totally been a belter. Oh, great. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I know, right? Yeah, I totally enjoyed it. Like, well, my sister was the one that first told me about the show, and if I'm being honest, when I watched the first episode, it didn't really catch me. So I didn't go back to watch it until maybe 2 weeks later, and it picked up for me actually after the second episode. And then I was kind of hooked by then, because it really drew me in by then. And let me just say, everybody needs an Amos in their crew. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody needs an Amos. Oh, it's a book? I didn't know that. You know how I feel about shows based on books. Now you know I'm gonna have to go find the books. You know I'm gonna have to go find the books now. And now it's just another book that I have to add to my reading list. Hey, Ione. Wow, I gotta go get the books. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I gotta go get them. I did not know they were books. See? This is why I have these, I have to have these kind of conversations, because I learn. I never would, I did not know they were books. The show is more like the books than any other book to TV show. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, great. So yeah, like it really, you know what really got me? Okay, let me start from the beginning. Like in the first episode, when they hear the distress call from Julie Mao, right? And then the captain of the Canterbury was like, yo, let's just not mess with it. We're going to leave it alone. And old boy has a conversation with old girl. And, you know, she's like, oh, how come we blah, 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 blah. And then he goes ahead and logs the distress call. And then they go out to the ship. I still don't understand which ship blew up the Canterbury, because when you get to, I think towards the end of season 1, right, it shows you the ship that Julie Mao had parked behind that, you know, in that crater. Was it that ship that blew up the Canterbury, or was it a different one? If anybody knows the answer to that. Really, Ione, I didn't know that. One of the two Expanse assistants, or one of the two Expanse authors, was an assistant of George R. R. Martin. Oh, well then, okay, great. Well, if again, this is spoilers, okay, Miss Duncan. They did find her. They did find her. But how they found her was, yo. They did find her though. They did find her. It just, you know, it wasn't a happy ending, but sometimes a lot of times you never know. Yeah, I did not know that. Well, good for them. They did well. The show is actually pretty great. I can't wait to read the books then. My microphone. Okay, sorry about that. Is well, she was in a she did die in a sense. She did die in a sense, but she and listen, it's some old others. It's a whole others type of it's a whole type of others whole deal going on here with and it was it was a really slow build to that. At least for me it was, like, as I was going more and more into the season, it was like a really slow build, because you have what I loved about the first season was I don't know why my thing keeps muting. Sorry about that. Yeah. Hey, Bravo C. Hey, Aaron Water. Sorry, I'm like trying to talk and I'm not paying attention to the chat. But what I liked most about the first season is how you have these different factions that are trying to get at the same thing, and all revolves around this one person, but they don't know that it revolves around this same person, because you have John Miller who gets this assignment to find Julie Mao, right? And you have Dawes and what's his name, Fred Johnson, who know about Julie Mao, but Fred Johnson knew her by her alias, right? So they know about Julie Mao. And then you have the people of the the 5 crew members who had gotten off the Canterbury, which if which I, with slow down. If James Holden had not logged that call, right, the Canterbury would have still been around. That's one. Second, even after he logged that call, those 5 crew members actually ended up living. But I still have a question as who fired on the Canterbury? That still isn't clear to me, because I'm not sure if it was the ship that Julie Mao was on or if it was another ship. Because when you get into I think it's the second season, it goes into it goes more into Julie Mao's vantage point. But in season 1, we're getting introduced to all of these factions, right? The Earthers, the Martians, the Belters. And then you have this crew who by default, escape being obliterated by this random stealth technology, right? Cool, right? So, hey, AK. So that is the one thing that I wasn't sure about that kind of confused. Oh, but I'm going to read the books, and maybe the books might make it clear, or maybe I need to just rewatch those episodes. Maybe it said it and I just missed it. Or if anybody in the chat knows, maybe you can enlighten me to let me know if it was the ship that Julie Mao was on that blew up the Canterbury, or was it just another ship that happened to be alongside them? Because I was under the impression that Julie Mao's ship was the only one that was out there. I mean, I know that they got I'm getting into season 2 territory, so I don't want to do that. I just want to do spoilers for The Expanse season 1. So I love the way that they did the setup of how all of these different factions are interconnected by this one person, but don't know it yet. And it's like how all of these different people are slowly coming together, right? So, oh yeah, LMR, you probably will enjoy it. And I just found out that it's a book series, so I definitely want to read the books. I know I definitely want to do that, right? And I like the sequencing about how they did that, because it's like while everything else is going on, there's something ominous going on in the background, and our only clue to that ominous thing is this young woman named Julie Mao, who happens to be the mystery. It happens to be the biggest mystery in this whole thing. Hold on, let me catch up on some of these comments here. Oh, y'all are just saying hello to each other. Hey, everybody. Whoever I missed, hi. If I missed you. Oh, but yeah. I said earlier that it was hard for me to get into it because it's a slow start. It was a slow start for me. Like I didn't really enjoy the first episode. Like it really didn't catch me. It's not until I went back, and by the time I got to episode 3 of season 1, that's when for me things kind of picked up, and then my interest, I got more interested in it because it was almost like a whodunit type of a mystery, and you're trying to figure out how this young lady plays the bigger part of this whole picture, and who is really the bad guy in the whole story. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. Well, well, Major, I hope you kind of got a gist of what I'm saying. But if you didn't, the whole background is there is an you have Earth and you have Mars, right? Apparently, a group of human beings left Earth to go and settle in Mars. And so now all of those people, all of those human beings who went to Mars to settle there are now considered Martians. And then you have a group of humans that are in an area called the Beltway, and it's, I think their area is called Ceres. And so the Beltway, all the people that are in the Beltway are called Belters. And so the Belters are kind of like the workforce for both Earth and Mars. So I hope that kind of explains that part of it. So basically, you have 3 major factions. You have Earth, you have Mars, and then you have the Belt. And so the Belters are like the workforce. They're the ones that are doing all of the hard labor. They're the ones that are basically doing the work that all of the work that helps both Earth and Mars maintain their way of life, all of their basic necessities and way of life. But they get the shorter end of the stick, for lack of a better term. And I hope that made sense. And so there's a young lady who goes missing in the first season. A young lady by the name of Julie Mao goes missing, and her father hires somebody, a detective who works in the police force in Ceres, where most Belters are from. He's hired privately to find this young lady named Julie Mao, who happens to be the daughter of a very affluent and I wouldn't call him a politician, but he's he's kind of like call him like the Elon Musk. At least that's how I saw him. He's kind of like the Elon Musk of that whole storyline. So it gets really like Ion said, you have to at least watch the first three to four episodes to really get, because it's a slow start, right? Because they're trying to build the story, and you're getting introduced to everybody, and then there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but it all eventually comes together as the episode goes on, and it gets really good. To me, it picked up for me like around episode 3, and then by then I was like, okay, this is good. I'm really enjoying this, and it's a good show. Like I'm on season 3 now. I'm on season 3. So hopefully you try to give it another chance for both. I mean, if you can, it gives me the things that it gives me that are similar to game. We always if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you're always going to compare things to the Game of Thrones, right? It's just inevitable, right? It gives me those vibes because you have all of these people that are infighting for who's going to be, who should have power and who should have, control, but yet there's this bigger threat that's happening in the background. And that big threat that's happening in the background is as a result of someone playing with things that they have no idea, or playing with forces, or playing with things that they have no idea that they're messing with, right? And then it culminates into this power struggle between all these three factions, right? And then at the center of it is this one young lady in the beginning. She is at the center of it, but we really don't know, because as the season is going, you're learning more and more about who this young woman is and what part does she play. And you have all of these different characters that are in different, in their respective factions, having to deal with the aftermath of what happened to the Canterbury and why that happened and what role did Earth and Mars play in that. And in the same time, you start to uncover that there has been something happening in the belt and in some other outer stations that had resulted in this whole thing taking place. Hey, T baby. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So it's a very interesting plot. I really do recommend it. At least give it a shot. Just try to make it through the first 2 to 3 episodes, because the first 2 to 3 episodes is just a build up, because it's just kind of giving you a background and kind of introducing you to what it is that's actually going on, right? And and then you can liken most of those characters to some of the characters that we know, right? So it's a really, I really enjoy it. And like I said, there's this ominous thing that's happening in the background, and then people know, and people are trying to find out who is responsible for what's going on. And I totally enjoyed it. Now, for those of you that have watched the show, who is your favorite character? And if we're just talking about season 1, because I know more characters get introduced, but out of the main group of characters, who is your favorite character in the show? If you have one. I got a few. It's so cute. Amos, yes, I love Amos. I love Amos. Everybody needs somebody like Amos in their crew. I think T Baby would like Amos also. I think T Baby would really like Amos. Like Amos is that one guy. Everybody needs an Amos in their crew. Everybody. Like, I don't care who you are. Everybody needs it. I mean, he's, most people don't want to say it out loud, but you want to have an Amos in your crew. Anybody else watch the show that? Yeah, T, you'd love Amos. You would definitely love Amos. Like Amos, Amos is that like he's about that life. And he's from B More. He reps from B More. He is, you do, Phil. You do need an Amos. You do. And I like Christian Avasarali. I like her. She reminds me of she's like the Olena of the show. She reminds me of Olena Tyrell of the show. Yeah. I'm telling you, T, you just watch it. You'll get it. Oh my God. She is like, yo, she's goals. Like Christian is goals. Okay? Straight goals. Yes. The gravity sex scene, yes. Yes, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. So if you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch it. You can watch it. Because I think it's Prime. Yeah, those are like my top two favorite characters. Like I like the others. Like I like John Miller. You know what I mean? I liked him, and I like uh what's her face? The young lady that John Miller was like, partnered with. I liked her. I'm only talking season 1. And I didn't mind John Holden, but John Holden gives me so much John tease. Like I like him, but I'm more of an Amos. I'm more I'm more team Amos than I am James Holden, but I don't mind James Holden. Hey, Tuki, how you doing? Oh my goodness, how are you? Yeah, we're only talking season 1. Trust me, I want to get into some season 2 stuff, but that'll be for a different video. Yeah. You know what, Ion? That too. That too. That too. That too. Yeah, so like I yeah, but I'm a Christian Avasarali and Amos fan. Those two are like my top two, like my ride or die. Like those two for me, I'm good. I'm good with those two. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy. Like, trust me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Those first 2 episodes is gonna be. It might be a struggle, but as long as you can get through those first 2 episodes, I promise you, it picks up and the story just starts getting more and more fascinating. And while you're watching this, keep in mind there's all this weird, ominous shit that's happening in the background of surrounding this girl. Like this girl is such a mystery. Like you're trying to find out who she is and what she's about, along with John Miller, because John Miller is the person that has been tasked to find her, and he's trying to pick up the clues as to who she is, what happened to her, where she is. All the while, all of these other things that are happening are connected to this one woman. So yeah, I'll watch it. If y'all plan on streaming and watching together, I would definitely wouldn't mind watching it again. And I promise I won't be like, listen, have you ever, are you the person, like when somebody watches something you've watched before, are you the person like, oh, watch this. Oh, wait till you see this. Oh, wait. Oh, snap. Wait. Oh my God. Yes, that proto-molecule life. Yes. That proto-molecule life is nothing to play with. Listen, we saw what happened when the children of the forest decided to create the first White Walker. Messing around with that dragon glass. So how well that worked out. Hey, human. Yeah, you saw how well that worked out. That protomolecule ain't nothing to play with. Yes, that protomolecule is nothing to play with. Nothing to play with. And it gets creepier. It gets even more creepier. By season 2, it gets even more creepier. By season 3, it's like, what? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. Thank you. Man, but I would really highly encourage you to watch that first season if you've never seen the show. No, I haven't watched all 4 seasons. I'm on season 3 now. I'm on season 3 right now. And I think I'm on episode. I just watched the episode where Amos had to handle business with the doc so that his best friend in the whole world wouldn't have to. See, that's why you need an Amos in your life, man. That's why you need an Amos in your life. I'm trying to tell y'all, everybody needs an Amos in their life. Seriously. But yeah, I'm gonna finish watching season 3 today and then start season 4. Yeah. Yo, everybody needs an Amos, yo. I am probably gonna shout Amos out on every stream that I do about The Expanse, because that's my dude. That's my dude. That was a good episode. That was a very good episode. We're talking about The Expanse, Tuki. Yes, Ion, yes. Tell you, man. Telling you. I just love his. Listen, Amos got mad swag. I don't care what nobody say. People might come be like, "Oh my God, he's so violent. Oh my God, Amos is like real. He's like straight black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Okay." Hey, human. Yeah. No sugar, no cream. He's like straight black coffee. Like he bowed it, as they love to say. He bowed it. He is down. He's like he don't play. He don't come to play no games. Like if he's down for you, he is down for you. He's like ready and like, what's up? Yeah. He like, what up? We doing this or what? He's like, I don't got time for all this dialogue. Let's, all right. He got a code. He got a code. He's got a code. So yeah, I'm like, I really, really, you don't have to like black coffee, AK. I'm just trying to make the analogy that he is like, he doesn't do all that other extra stuff, right? He's not about all that extra stuff. Like he's like, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. Like, I'm down for whatever. Like, you can't touch my fam. You might get popped. Somebody did get popped. Somebody did get popped. Somebody was trying to mess with the fam and Amos handled business. And he's like, he's one of those like, yeah, 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 yeah. This just make it through the first couple of episodes. Once you make it through the first couple of episodes, you'll enjoy, you'll the story will pick up and you'll enjoy it. Right, OTDA? He don't it's like there's not like let's talk about it. Let's, let's nah, Amos is not about that. He's like, I don't understand what we doing all of this talking about. Like, yeah. He's like, he's that guy. He's that guy. He's that guy. So yeah, everybody needs an Amos in their crew. Everybody needs one. Say what you want. Pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, I love his character. And the actor who plays him does a really great job of bringing the essence of what Amos is out. Now, I haven't even read the books. I'm sure if I read the books, it's probably even more. He's even more. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Who's the worst character in the show? That may be up for debate, but one of the senators. I don't know if he's a senator. I should have paid attention more, but his name is Aaron Wright. He is one of the worst. He is one of the worst. And I don't know, this might also be debatable, but Dawes, the self-proclaimed governor of the belt, is also one of the worst. One of the worst. One of the worst, for sure. Them two. If I had to pick who were the worst characters, those two were at the top of my list. Yeah. Hey, Sneed, what's up? Yeah, he's like the worst. Aaron Wright and Dawes, like those to me, like it could be debatable whether Dawes is the worst because for him in his mind, he feels like he's trying to look out for the belt. Like he has like this Robin Hood, and I put that in quotes. He has like this Robin Hood type of, at least to me, that's how he comes off. Like he has like this Robin Hood type of persona. But he's like Tywin to me. He's like a Tywin. He's like a Littlefinger and a Tywin and a, you know what I mean? He's like a Roose Bolton. Like he really is like, he's out here showing, oh, I'm here for the belt, blah, 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 putting out this, and, he does have a following, right? Because he's doing all of this Robin Hood shit. But, and you could say that he's doing that because he's trying to secure the belt and he's trying to look out for the belt. But how he goes about doing it, like, I don't know. So that's why I said Dawes is debatable. Whether you think he's one of the worst characters, that's debatable. Oh, human, I'm sorry. Yes. Holden is the only one that likes coffee, apparently. Yeah. So the most I think T Baby asked who's the most annoying character. That's another debatable one for me. But for me, probably the most annoying character might be Naomi, and that might be debatable to some people. But I find her annoying. Like I get her, but I find her annoying. Most times, I find her annoying. I found the cop, even though I liked her, but I also found her annoying. I don't know why I'm finding all the girls annoying, but I don't mean to. But yeah, I found Naomi Navigata annoying a little bit. Like she was, you know, like don't get me wrong, you know, she has like a lot of good moments, but sometimes she can be annoying. I sometimes find James Holding annoying. I sometimes find him annoying too. Sometimes, like, oh my God, get this like chip off your shoulder, dude. Just like relax. It's like the both of them interchange how annoying they can be. They can be both annoying. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah. Okay, so I don't feel alone, Phil. Like some of the, I don't know if it's on purpose that they made. I don't know if it's on purpose that they made those girls annoying, or I don't know. Okay, human, I know. Yes, you need to be a good. You need to be a good host. You know, a good friend. Socialize. Yeah, Murtry is he is he is he is, and that what you call it, that Admiral Yang, is it Admiral Yang? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Admiral Yang or Tao? I can't remember. The Asian admiral, like he's the worst. Like he's definitely got a shipper. He probably have like, you know, short man syndrome. I don't know. That might be it. But let's not, you know, again, y'all, I would really highly recommend that y'all get into that. Yeah, it is a space sci-fi series with a lot of political, there's a lot of political, there's a huge there's a political um backdrop, you know, there's a lot of political politics involved, but there's also this extra ominous type. I don't want to give too much. Yes, win. Thank you, Sneed. Win. There's also this ominous thing that's going on, other thing going on in the background, that we're on Earth and on Mars. Like, so you had a group of humans probably back around the time when Elon Musk and Richard Branson said that they were going to go to Mars and set up shop in Mars. Well, apparently they made it happen. And so now you have a group of humans that have gone to Mars. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to terraform Mars to make it a new Earth, right? So, but they've obviously been there for a very long time. And so they're considered Martians, right? Because, you know, they've had generations of people there. So they're now considered Martians. And so now you have a Earth, and then you have Mars. Now, I wasn't too clear as to whether or not Mars was considered a colony of Earth or they were both just equal. I wasn't too sure about that in the first season, because I got the impression that they were both their own separate governments, but they both had interest in colonizing the belt. Yes, Phil, thank you. You said that much better than I did. Yes. 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 So, um, yes, Earth and Mars are beefing, and they have this adopted child called the Belt. But the adopted child that they have as the Belt. They've been abusing them for like years. They've been abusing them for years. Right. Right. So they've been um trying to terraform Mars in order to turn it into a new Earth. So basically they're trying to recreate Earth on Mars. Hey Mandy, how are you? Yeah, they're trying to build a new Earth on Mars. So basically they're trying to create vegetation. They're hoping to create like a water or like bodies of water. That's what they're trying to recreate on Mars, because even from now, from our, from what we know today of Mars, Mars is like a big red waste, right? And so if you're on Mars, you still have to wear, I'm just gonna say PPE because it makes it easier for me to say that, because you can't just breathe the air in Mars still. You can't just do that. You have to wear, you have to be suited up to be able to walk out into the atmosphere and breathe. If you want to do anything else, you have to be inside of a facility in order for you to be able to breathe oxygen and all that other stuff. Yeah. Yes. Yes. That is true. Yes, Phil. That is awesome. That is awesome. And I'm just saying, listen, Elon Musk and Richard Branson are on this mission, especially Elon Musk. They're on this mission to like land in Mars, and they're trying to create, they're trying to create a new world, as far as I know, in Mars. So that's their mission. Yeah. So yes, pretty much. They like, and I know that, I know there was supposed to be like a new SpaceX launch, but I guess they decided not to do it because of what's going on now. And I know that's like really driving Elon Musk, like really, really. I mean, I'm sure that's very upsetting for him, because that's, you know, I'm telling y'all need to just go watch the show. I'm gonna wrap this up because we've been going for almost an hour. So I'm not gonna stay too long, just in case anybody wants to watch it. And plus it's Saturday. I'm sure y'all got better things to do than to listen to me ramble on about The Expanse. But I'm telling y'all, it's a really good show. Y'all really would just give it a chance if you hadn't watched it before, because I was the same way. Like, I watched the first episode and I was like, yo, this I can't get into this. But you have to just give it a chance. Get through the first two episodes. I'm telling you, after you get through those first two episodes, the story does pick up. Just make sure when you're watching those episodes, they're not really, they don't really push the story forward, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. They don't really push the story forward, but you do get a lot of setup. You get a lot of background, and you get a lot of setup for what you're getting ready to watch in the later episodes, right? So just pay attention to a lot of what's going on in those first two as much as you can, because by the time episode 3 comes in, it starts to take off. It starts to take off. I'm telling you, like, and yeah, and it's good. It's good. And it's like one of those big mysteries. You're getting clues. You know what I mean? You're getting clues, from all these different areas, and you're trying to piece it together, just like everybody else is trying to piece it together from there. And then the one person who's really taking you around to figure all of this out is James Miller. Like, he's like, no, I'm sorry, John Miller. He's like, because he's trying to investigate what happens to this one girl, and this one girl is really the answer to everything else that's happening. Telling you, I'm gonna love Amos. Amos is that dude. I don't know if you don't like Amos, you suck. You know what I mean? If you were, for all the people who've either read the books or watched the show, if who would you be? Would you be an earther? Would you be a Martian? Or would you be a belter? If you were in that world, who would you be? I know for me personally, I would be a belter. I know I would be a belter. I already know that. Who do you think you would be? Would you be an earther, a Martian, a earther, or would you be a belter? A better water. Definitely. That's okay, Papa. Okay. And I love the belt language. Oh, I forgot to say who's another character I really love. Drummer. I love her character. Like, I love her. She is like, she's a ride or die. You'd be an earther for sure. I know I'd be a belter. I know I'd be a belter for sure. I know I'd be a belter. Just knowing my personality, yeah, I'd be a belter. I'd be a belter like drummer. I'd be like a drummer level. I'd be drummer level type belter. That would be me. That would be me. Yeah, that would be me. For sure. For sure. And for those of you who are trying to figure out, you'd be, yeah, Gunny is nothing to play with. Gunny ain't nothing to play with. She ain't nothing to play with, but I'm still a drum, drummer is my girl. Drummer is my girl. Yeah, yeah. Drummer is my girl. Yes, Gunny is the space Brienne. Perfect. That is perfect. That is perfect. Yes. Yes. That is true. She is. Oh, okay, Steve. So she's your favorite character. Cool. I like Amos and Christian. Those are my two top characters. And Drummer. I should say 3. I should put Drummer in that because, yeah. Oh, snap. Let me find out Phil all up in the Gunny. We got a lot of Gunny fans up in this joint. Uh-oh. Yeah, Gunny is the realest. Gunny don't play. She's like, I don't got time for all these conversations. I just need to know what's up. And in my mind, I ship her and I shipped her and Amos, but it probably wouldn't have worked because they're too much alike. They're too much alike. It wouldn't work. Gunny, yeah, it wouldn't work. Wow. Tell her that, tell her to hit the gym. Start doing some Muay Thai. Yeah, Gunny's beautiful. Oh, that is hilarious. Tell his girlfriend that she might need to go ahead and hit the gym. Start doing some CrossFit. Start doing some CrossFit. Okay, people, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me and talking The Expanse with me today. I'm going to, maybe next week, we could talk about the second, no, maybe in a couple of weeks, we'll talk about the second season, because if you haven't watched it, that'll give you a chance to watch the first season and then watch the second season. And then that way we can talk about season 2. I think that's fair. So we'll come back in a couple of weeks and we'll talk about The Expanse season 2. Yeah, like I get like yeah, it's one of those it's one of those hidden gems, right? It's one of those, I think it's a show that's a hidden gem, and I think, you know, if you don't get people who've watched it and who, you know, especially like me, who really didn't who didn't really give it much thought after I watched the first, I was like, oh, this isn't, you know, this isn't interesting. I really didn't dig it, because my sister was the one that put me onto it at first. But I gave it a chance. I went back and I gave it a chance, and I'm so glad I did, because it's actually a really good show and a good story. And thank you for letting me know that it's a book, because now that I know it's a book, then you know what I'm about to do when I get off of this live. I'm about to go on my iPad and I'm about to go to iBooks and I'm about to be like, about to, you know, purchase the books. And then I'm going to go to Audible and see if it's on Audible. And then I'm going to go buy the audiobooks, because I'm the type of person, I like to hear the audio while I'm looking at don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. That's me. I like to hear the audio while also having the book open. That's me. Okay, Mandy. Yeah, we were just discussing season 1. We were just discussing season 1, because there's a lot of people who haven't watched it yet. So just to give them a chance to watch it, and then at least watch the first 2 seasons. So we can come back in a couple of weeks, and then we'll talk about season 2. And then for those of you that saw season 1, you can kind of give us your thoughts about what you thought of season 1, and you know how it was for you, and then we'll get into season 2. Thank you, AK. Thank you, Major. Thank you for understanding, because that's me. I like to do that. I like to listen to the audio while I got the book open. That works best for me. You know what I mean? I like doing that. That has been the best combo for me. Yeah, I mean, it's actually a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show, and I'm so glad that I went back and gave it a chance. And now that I know it's a book, I'm really even more excited to read the book, because, you know, sometimes the book gives you a little bit more juice. You know what I mean? You get more juice out of. I don't know why I do that. Why did I do that? What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. This is like the longest wrap up of a video. Whatever. Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If you happen to go back to watch the show, I really hope you enjoy it. You're really gonna love you're gonna love it. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95 to 99% sure that you're gonna enjoy the show. As long as you make it through the first 2 episodes, you're gonna enjoy it. And then, you could just, pay attention to a lot of the characters, and then you could pick out which character that you either closely identify with, or you find that that you have that connection with. All right. Thank you again for coming to hang out with me. I really, truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and we could do this again. Shout out to all of you, because without you guys, this doesn't happen. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Bye.